Hey guys, Blue Gal here. I'm live because I have a cold and I'm okay. I'm fine. Um, it's one of those things that's only affecting my voice, which is just perfect for a podcaster to have, no other symptoms, but can't talk. So I thought I would just pop on because on Wednesdays at 7, sharp as can be, Blue Gal's calling, come knit with me. See, I can still sing, and then I sound like a frog. I went this weekend. I did want to hop on because I wanted to tell you guys about my trip to Chicago. I went to Stitch Up Chicago this weekend, and it was a knitting convention kind of thing that was unlike anything I've been to before. You arrived, we arrived Friday, rather late, and they give you, when you register, a bag of yarn and needles and patterns, and you join in with everyone else there, and I think there were 130, maybe 120 knitters and crocheters there, working on the same yarn and the same sort of pattern, although the crocheters were working on a different pattern than the knitters, but same yarn, and both making a scarf and so forth on Friday night. And yeah, so it was kind of overwhelming because you had this huge bag of yarn and everyone pulled out this pattern and started working on this scarf together. Um, most of the yarns in the bag that were full skeins were um, acrylic wool blends, or acrylic mohair blends, or just acrylic. Um, but the real fun feature of this weekend, and it was Friday night and Saturday all day, was getting to meet some indie dyers. And we did, in the afternoon on Saturday, a yarn tasting featuring 5 indie dyers. And it was amazing. The organizer of the conference, she goes by Stitch and Hustle on Instagram, uh, was terrific. She said, "Look, this yarn tasting can be a sensory overload. If you're overloaded, we will make sure you get to try the yarns anyway. Um, you do not have to come into the crowded room and do it." But I did. They did 2 sets of 5 tables. Each table had an indie dyer's yarn already wound, multiple balls across the table with needles. And you would grab a pair of needles and some yarn and start knitting, and try as many of the yarns in your swatch as you could. And then you take the needles with you, because you have live stitches on the needle. If you're not a crocheter, you take the needles with you to the next table. And they timed it, and you rotated and so forth. But everybody got to try all the yarns, or as many of the yarns as they could, on each of the 5 tables. And while you were at that table, the dyer was there to talk to you about their yarn. So this is the swatch that I made. Lots of blues, of course. And it was just really fun. I used size 6 needles because that gave me the opportunity to try more bulky yarns along with some fingering weights. And I striped here. This is actually, it's not showing up on here the way it should, but this bright here is lime green. It's really not showing up. It's showing up as white, but it's lime green. And so, I mean, this was just so much fun. So I wanted to talk about the 5 dyers. And the first one that I sat in on was this one called, this is Creo. It's KRAEO.com. This is their worsted, and this is Fuzz Family. It is 100% superwash merino, and in the color double mint. It's the yarn is anti-Afghan in the color double mint. And the Creo yarns are really soft. That's what this is at the end here. Very nice, soft worsted weight. And I believe she has some fingering and some mohair there too. I just tried the worsted to start with. And Indie Dyer, uh, they all were creative, lovely women. And then Creo, the dyer for Creo also dyes for a label called Movers and Shakers, Mover ampersand Shakers. And Movers ampersand Shaker, no, Movers and Shakers? Wait a minute. Is that right? Movers and Makers, not Shakers, Makers. That's right. Movers and Makers. Thank you. Movers and Makers is the house yarn for Nina Chicago, which is a yarn store in near the South Side, and that is where on Sunday I took a class with Patty Lyons. And if you have an opportunity to take a class with Patty Lyons, do it. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But Nina Chicago, lovely little store, very well organized, clearly loves hand-dyed yarns, full of color, beautiful. This, however, is not a Movers and Makers yarn. This is what they gave away as a sample, and this is just earth yarns that they gave away in the bag. And it's knit. No, that's not the colorway. Does it say unique? It's unique fingering. Here we go. What does it say? Yeah, no, there's a colorway on here. It's just color 233. Okay. Color 3012. Okay, it's color 3012. And it's Nina Chicago. This is earth. This is I use the earth yarns for my socks for March. So those blue and gray and white striped yarns. And so this is that same earth unique fingering. So that'll be a trim on a hat somewhere. These are all minis that were, as I say, given away in the goodie bag for Stitch Up Chicago. All right. Then there was Bad Sheep yarn. This is Sprout. Another fingering weight. Again, I'll link all these below. This is 7525 superwash nylon. So this is a sock yarn. And lovely, lovely little minis to play with. The last two were really special to me. This is from Asylum Yarns. This is their bulky in the color. And the reason I've only got a little bit is I'm working on a cowl for this one. This color is called Off With Her Head. Asylum Yarns colors rock your world. This is the Stitch Up, the color for the conference. She did a dye for the conference, and so this is the yarn that she came up with for the conference. It's Stitch Up Special, one of a kind. And I'm making Off With Her Head, this little narrow cowl that goes around my neck. Yes, Off With Her Head. Such rich colors, just amazing. And Stephanie, who does Asylum Fibers, I actually got to talk with her quite a bit, and my husband Bill got to talk to her as well. She is an opera singer and does she has a Pink Floyd cover band in addition to being a yarn dyer. So my husband's a crazy Pink Floyd fan, and so they got to talking. But such a nice background, and like I said, the colors just out of this world. The last dyer is Keenan hand dyed yarns. And Keenan gave away this one, which is Fairy Wing. It's a lovely little blue in fingering, and this is 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. And one of the yarns that I was able to sample from Keenan was this one here. I'm gonna pull, there it is. Get my finger moving out of the way. There we go. There, right there. And it's called Your Brain on Yarn. So I had fun knitting that one, and so I ran off and when we went Sunday morning over to Nina, they carry the Keenan yarn, and I went and got a skein. And again, this is sock, so this is 75-25 superwash merino, 25 nylon, 463 yards. So that is going to be socks. Yeah, Your Brain on Yarn. Had a good time. I will tell you, like I said, take a Patty Lyons class. She's an engineer in terms of understanding the why of knitting and how yarn moves through a piece of knitting and how to move that yarn so that it does what you want it to do. And that's what we were learning. The 3-hour class just whizzed by. It was amazing. And so I had fun. I would like to do a yarn tasting with some of my stash with my guild and see, have balls of yarn on tables and just go around knitting them. I think that would be really fun. But as you can see, my voice is going. So had fun, tried all these yarns, and I will tell you more about my knitting and what I'm doing. And everything's just the same because I what's funny is about all of this is I had to drop my knitting for almost an entire weekend to work on stuff from the free yarn bag. I mean, they told you at Stitch Up to leave your stuff at home, basically, which of course I didn't. But you were going to be knitting the yarns that they gave you all weekend long. So that meant that all the projects, the Lenten projects and the sock project and everything got put aside for a while. So, all right, I'll hope my voice is back next week and we can catch up again. And thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.